Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I've titled my presentation, Oppositional and Counter-Memory in W.E.B. Du Bois's The Quest of the Silver Fleece, not golden, Silver Fleece, and the Dark Princess. I would like to extend the meaning and the message that Du Bois's two novels conveys. I propose to examine The Dark Princess and The Quest of the Silver Fleece from a framework of historical memory and Du Bois's lifelong desire to forge a counter-memory that might solve or transcend the race problem. Du Bois spent much of his career as a scholar and as an artist trying to dislodge American history from its racist moorings. Du Bois believed that by showing white society the intrinsic worth of African American culture, white people would agree that black people were entitled to be respected and regarded as equal citizens of the United States. David Blight, a Yale historian, contends that Du Bois was a self-conscious creator of black counter-memory who understood how deeply embedded the problem of racism was in American historical narratives, as well as how much those narratives continued to shape the collective memory of American people. Two central situations in the 1890s and early 1900s created the climate that propelled Du Bois to mount his oppositional strategies and counter agendas that can be seen in the characterization in the two novels and in the way societal problems are identified in the novels. One situation grew out of Du Bois's response to the 1915 film, The Birth of a Nation by D.W. Griffin, which depicted the Klan as heroes, defending white women from lecherous black men during Reconstruction. The movie was based on Thomas Dixon's 1905 novel, The Klansman. Thomas Dixon had committed his entire writing career in arguing in favor of the racist superiority of whites and the Ku Klux Klan's use of violence to defend, to redeem the lost cause of the Confederate South. A second situation was Du Bois' increasing knowledge from his social, scientific studies that began in the 1890s. In the 1898 study, he investigated general community conditions in such places as Petersburg, Virginia, Augusta, Georgia, Atlanta, Mobile, Bowling, Kentucky, Fort Smith, Arkansas, Galveston, Texas, and the District of Columbia. In those various studies, Du Bois found that racial prejudice isolated blacks, and this isolation threw upon the black community the responsibility for evolving its own methods and organs of civilization. Thus, Du Bois concluded that black communities need to have not a spontaneous, haphazard response to community problems, but an organized response from trained community leaders. In his 1899 and 1900 studies on business and education, Du Bois puts forth a defense of the theory of the talented tenth. Adolph Reed describes this defense as follows. The Black Americans, because of their peculiar slavery history, need social leadership more than most groups. Finally, writing in the Crisis magazine, September 1919, Du Bois urged Negroes to attune their aspirations to the struggles of oppressed peoples everywhere. Lose your self-centered provincialism, he said. Learn about Indian nationalism. Study French or Spanish language and travel abroad. All of these three situations found voice in the two novels under discussion today. In The Quest of the Silver Fleece and in The Dark Princess, we see a reflection of Du Bois' concerns. These concerns become a facet of his oppositional strategy to counter not only the negative prevailing beliefs of white America, but also to fortify Black America with the needed policies for the uplift of their future. Mounting his approach between literature and social activism, Du Bois uses these two novels, to highlight the importance that he places on the leadership of experienced, educated, and dedicated African Americans who struggle to promote racial and social progress. In The Quest of the Silver Fleece, Blessed Alwine character is convinced that he will find salvation in education alone. He labors under the assumption that when Black people reach a state of education comparable to white, all racial barriers will come down. Du Bois, however, develops the story so that Bless must learn that relying on education alone only is simply not enough to give him his place in this world. To emphasize this point, Du Bois uses a minor character, Miss Smith, the white philanthropist teacher, to echo his message. In Quest, Miss Smith tells her disappointed pupil, Robert, that without intelligence and training and some capital, it is the wildest nonsense to think you can lead your people out of slavery. Then, in a counter-response to Booker T. Washington's philosophy of striving first for respect from white people via hard work and labor while setting aside one's own individualistic goals of self-advancement, Du Bois speaks through Miss Smith when she encourages Robert to finish your education, develop your talents, and then come to your life work with a full-fledged man and not a half-ignorant boy. Likewise, the character of Matthew Towns in The Dark Princess is similar to Bliss in Quest. At the start of the novel, Towns puts his faith in education. During his first meeting with the Dark Princess, he naively tells her that prejudice is a miasma that character burned away. Towns at first believes that education will help him find a better position for himself, as well as the Black race. He looked down on those Black people who cringed and cowered and complained of failure. He changes his mind, however, when he, a medical student, is not allowed to take the crucial obstetrics class in a white hospital. experience a problem outside of his control, he realizes for the first time that race directly or overtly prevents him from achieving academically. He vows to leave New York for Europe. Second, both novels illustrate the positive and necessary role of women of color in promoting racial and social progress. In Quest, Zora's journey from her humble beginnings in the swamp to New England, on to Washington, D.C., and back to the swamp exemplifies a woman with the potential for positive growth. Her achievements, especially in buying and developing the swampland, emphasizes Du Bois' message that Black females are crucial in the struggle for racial justice. Cotillia in The Dark Princess serves as a catalyst in bringing an awareness of the importance of gender equality. Du Bois portrays her as a beautiful, powerful woman with intellectual ability to influence others. When Matthew Towns realizes he has made mistakes in the past, she tells him, "I can save you." And save she does. He is able through her influence to cast away the cynicism and the disappointment that have plagued him over the years. She convinces him of their common shared dreams and goals in life. And more importantly, she symbolizes to him the importance of Black culture and reminds him of its intrinsic worth as they make plans for removing racial prejudice from the world. Through Cotillia, Du Bois is able to put forth his belief in the importance of Pan-Africanism. Finally, in the criteria for Negro art, Du Bois says, she's held up the time once. Finally, in the criteria of Negro art, Du Bois said that the Black artist should seek truth, beauty, and goodness with the same freedom as white artists. Du Bois believed that when the artist presents the unfettered truth, beauty, and goodness, a message automatically arises from the work. In this sense, I believe, Du Bois believes that all art is propaganda. We see this belief in The Quest of the Silver Fleece and in The Dark Princess as Du Bois interrogates the racist collective memory of Americans of the early 20th century and offers a counter-memory. In both of these novels, he sets out to present a new vision of the meaning of race and capitalism, using the weapon of language as art. In his new vision, Du Bois includes the need for African Americans to find solutions to their feelings of duality, cultural duality, the double consciousness he identified in the 1903 Souls Black Folk.